Hey couples, today's topic is a great little checkup topic for all of you couples out there, whether you're just about ready to get married or whether you've been married a long time. We're going to help you to test your selfishness. And Tracy, I love that picture there. This is typical, right? The guy is playing video games and the wife is like, what gives?
Well, the truth is selfishness goes both ways. Wives can be guilty of this as well.
All right, so here's how we're going to test this today. Couples, score yourself and also your spouse. Give a ranking of 1 to 5 in each of these 5 areas. First of all, how selfish are you with your finances? 1 is not very selfish. 5 is off the charts selfish.
Yeah, so this could present itself in marriage if your hobbies cost a lot of money. And so any disposable income you have goes to supporting the things that you're interested in, but your spouse maybe doesn't get the same level of financial commitment to things that they care about.
Okay, so give yourself a rating and give your spouse a rating, and then later on you can compare your ratings. Number 2, rate yourself when it comes to preferences. We're talking about where to go out to eat, what movies to watch, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and if I'm honest, this has kind of been a joke in our marriage, but the honest truth is I always know where I want to eat out. And we typically go where I want to eat out. So I think that's been a challenge for me in recent years to just realize that I score high on this end of the selfishness scale. And I need to be better about letting you, Brian, choose sometimes the restaurants that I do not like, but I need to let you choose so I'm not so selfish.
Well, part of the thing here is, again, maybe some of you couples out there, one of you, the husband or the wife, doesn't really honestly doesn't care. So I would say, Tracy, I'm certainly the more selfish of the two of us in all of these areas. But in this particular area, I don't know if it's that I'm not selfish or if it's I really don't have such a passion for food the way you do.
Well, that might be true. But in all honesty, selfishness is really just thinking about myself. I know what I want, so I'm going to go get it.
All right, number 3 is a little bit tricky. We want you to rate yourself in terms of your emotions. How emotionally selfish are you? Tracy, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, this is a tough one, but we see this a lot in marriage dynamics that if one person's kind of emotional ups and downs kind of control the family or control the marriage relationship. So if the selfishly emotional spouse is sad, then everybody's sad. If they're depressed or mad, then everybody is mad. So it's just your mood dictates the relationship. That would be an example of emotional selfishness.
Now, the next one might actually be the easiest one to measure. How selfish are you when it comes to your time?
Yeah, and this could present itself in a lot of ways. I mean, it might be that one of you comes home from work and the last thing you want to do is talk or bond with your spouse or your kids. You just want to watch TV, whatever it is, or sports. So you don't have any thought about, well, what other people want right now from me. This is what I do to relax. This is what I'm going to do. For other people, it might be a hobby. So for example, Brian, you love to golf. Golf can take up a lot of time. I mean, if you play 18 holes, you're gone for 5 hours. So this will be good to get a ranking of, do you ever think about your time and what you're off doing that's fun for you? How is that affecting your spouse and even your kids?
Yeah, I remember when our kids were little, this was something I rarely did. I would rarely go out and play golf because, like you said, because it took so much time. So whenever I'm with younger dads, I always feel a little bit bad about them, asking them to come golf 9 or 18 holes because I think, actually, you probably should be home with your wife. So I think this is one of those that husbands and wives probably need to sit down and be honest with each other about it. Because one of the things, Tracy, I appreciate about you is that you freely would say to me, even when our kids were little, there were times when I was stressed out and you said, just go golf, just go play 9 holes. I give you the permission. And for some guys, and maybe even for wives, that's what they need.
Yeah, the goal is that as you grow in a healthy marriage, that you both become less selfish with time. And then you can give the gift of saying, even though I would rather you be home helping with the kids on a Saturday, I know that you need to go golf, so go golf.
And then finally, score yourself in the area of chores. How selfish are you when it comes to serving around the house, around the yard, in the neighborhood, whatever?
Here's a great way to test this. Do you have to be asked to do things around the house or for your spouse? Are you always kind of reacting to your spouse's complaint of, I need help with this, or you never do that? Or could you learn to be more anticipate the need and do it without having to be asked? That's a good indicator of how selfish you are when it comes to serving and chores.
So score yourself and your spouse in each of these 5 areas in terms of your selfishness, and then make sure to share it with your spouse and have a great conversation.